Okay, it's chapter 29. And again, just when we thought they were getting somewhere, Martine and Ben, here comes that terrible skipper. Chapter 29. To Martine, there was a certain symmetry to the whole island adventure, an inevitability. It was almost as if destiny had been in motion since the day Miss Faulkner had told them about the sardine run, and that no matter how hard Martine had tried to stop it, she was always going to end up speeding across the ocean on a boat steered by a man with only one purpose, to deliver her to Death Island. And she knew without being told that that's where she and Ben were being taken. "Are you really going to leave us here to die?" she demanded when the boat splattered to a halt at a shell sandbank, and the skipper indicated that they should get off. When she hesitated, he gave her a push. "What kind of a monster are you?" she said furiously. "Monster? I'm not a monster. If I was, I would have fed you to the sharks. No, I'm a kind man, a generous man, as you will see. I'm giving you a chance to win your freedom like the old prison guards used to. You are young and strong. If you can swim to the shore just 8 miles from here, you can go home to your families, and I will forget that you tried to steal my boat and interfere with my business and stop my chance to get some real money. R1,000,000. Do you know how much that can buy in Mozambique?" He revved up the engine. "Enjoy your swim," he said. "Perhaps if you are lucky, a fishing boat will come to your aid." He was gone in a swoosh of flying spray. Martine looked at the sliver of sandbank and the seething ocean that surrounded it. Her nightmares returned in flashback. She could hear the screams in the night of the storm, feel the slow-motion terror of impending disaster, see the circling dead-eyed sharks. She knew now how the Paradise Island prisoners must have felt in centuries gone by. At least she could swim a little. Most of them had probably been unable to swim at all. Ben was scared too, although he was trying hard not to show it. He said, "I don't suppose one of your powers is holding back the tide." "No." "Well, hopefully a fishing boat really will come along and rescue us. Until then, why don't we pretend we're on a lovely beach and that we've chosen to be here? I could help you with your sea swimming if you like." Martine appreciated the effort but couldn't bring herself to go along with it. She tried to muster a smile. "I'd really like you to give me swimming lessons sometime, but it would be nice if it was on a Cape Town beach in the summer, not Death Island in the winter." They watched hopefully for passing fishermen or tourist ferries, but nothing but seabirds crossed the horizon. As the sun rose, the sandbank shrunk steadily. Before long, it could barely have accommodated the two of them if they'd sat down and stretched their legs out. "Ben," Martine asked, "do you think that when you're really frightened of things, you sort of attract them? I mean, you know how girls who are afraid of bats are always ending up with bats getting caught in their hair, while people who couldn't care less about them go their whole lives without seeing a single one? Well, I have a phobia about deep water, and I seem to keep getting into situations where I have to face it." "I suppose it's possible," Ben said, "but maybe it's just your destiny. To drown? Great. No, silly, to be put into situations that would lead to you helping the dolphins and to them helping you." Martine thought about it, about Minnie, her life needlessly sacrificed, about the suffering in the eyes of the 21 dolphins beached at Dolphin Bay, of the whales in the Bahamas with bleeding eardrums. She thought too of the joy she'd experienced when the dolphin in Cape Town had swum away, of lying in the turquoise water gazing into the wise, innocent eyes of Little Storm, and of the night of the cyclone when she'd looked up to see 100 dolphins coming through the wild waves outlined in silver. She and the others had helped the dolphins, but not nearly as much as the dolphins had helped her. Yes, they had saved her from the storm, but they'd also given her something far, far greater than that. They'd healed her. For the past 2 weeks, she had been so preoccupied with surviving that she wasn't even sure when it had happened. She didn't hurt anymore. The knot of sadness that had dwelled inside her heart ever since the death of her mum and dad 6.5 months earlier was gone. She still felt very close to them. She felt as if they were watching over her as she stood on Death Island, but it was a good feeling, not a painful feeling. Some of the fear left her and was replaced by the same sense of acceptance and optimism that had come over her when she first took in the severity of their predicament on the island. "Ben," she said, "you know what's really weird? All of a sudden, I'm not afraid anymore. The dolphins will save us if they can find us. I know they will. Then why don't we try telling them where we are?" He took a deep breath and yelled as loudly as he could. "Sun dancer, cookie, ash, thunder, steel, rain dancer, patch, honey, Little Storm." Martine did the same, and then they took it in turns. When they were almost hoarse from shouting, Martine took Ben's brown hand in her small white one and squeezed it hard. They were up to their ankles in water. He squeezed back, and then they stood together, hand in trembling hand, looking out at the encroaching sea. "If you could do it all again, I mean everything that's happened in the last couple of weeks, would you do anything differently?" Ben asked. "Yes," said Martine. "I'd tell my grandmother that I love her."